Alright, I think we're going now. Oh, and we got a visitor. There she is. Yep. Okay. Say hi, everybody. Are you going to help me trade? Are you going to tell all the good people out there what trades they should be looking at for this week? Yeah? Oh, boop, boop, boop. Alright, let's get down to business. Let's jump into the charts. I'll make the screen big, I think. Yep. We have a couple of really good setups this week. We kind of have three that we're looking for. We had one last week. We just barely missed the entry on, and it went to full take profit. So you'll have that. Sometimes we can talk about the emotions. Maybe they can go into that and why you shouldn't chase a trade. Again, basic. All we're doing on this is support and resistance. We're going to make a little bit more when we're right. Then we're going to lose when we're wrong. This trading style works great. I traded ICT for quite some time and struggled with it heavily. And this has been, it's so simple, it's so easy, I mean, anybody can do it, right? So, let's get into it. We'll start over here. This is my watch list if you want to try to screenshot it or whatever. I guess I need to make it a little bigger. But anyway, let's start at the top. You can write these down if you want. Okay, GBP and ZD. I don't see anything there. We're very far away from any of our zones that I would be interested. We aren't looking at every little fluctuation of price. We are looking at the major daily and weekly support and resistance levels. I do not care about 1 hour, 4 hour. I mean, you can trade them, but you're going to have a lot lower of a win rate. So it's up to you how you want to do that. I trade off the daily and the weekly. GBP and ZD, there's nothing there. GBP AUD. That's the one. We're getting there. When we get into this zone, I have my alert set about midway here. We would start looking for a short, and if that were to set up, probably still a week or two out, it would roughly look something like this. Stop above the zone. Typically, I'm going to run my stop loss about, say halfway here at the end of the zone. And then another half, roughly, maybe be something like this. That would be where I'd put this, and then we set our take profit at a 1-to-1, maybe just a little over a 1-to-1 for fees and commissions. And all we would do is get in this. We would try to hold it all the way to take profit, and then we'd close this trade a little early. See this high over here? Maybe if we peaked above this and closed an hourly candle above the zone, we might look to get out. Therefore, that's going to be about half of a unit of risk lost. And so over time, given... Oh, thank you. Oh, it's a beautiful flower. Thank you. Given enough trades, what you'll generally find is you can run about a 2R running this 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So it's pretty cool. Something like that. Again, GBP AUD, there's nothing here for us yet. GBP JPY, got nothing here right now. I'm not really interested in anything on that. GBP CAD. So this was a fairly interesting one. You can see on the weekly we had this. Oh my. We had this very large resistance zone here. We kind of peaked above it. We fell back. And at first I wanted to see this fall down, retest, and fall. But if you really drug this zone down a little bit further, it looked like these highs. It looked like this was just coming back down to retest, maybe a little bit deeper in the zone, and then it started to go back up. Now it's coming back down. In order, like, I would be willing to get short on this, but I want a total breakdown below this zone and obvious, and then wait for that push back up, a short, and then we would get our risk set up on that trade. So nothing there for me right now. I had watched this the other day, and I set up a fake scenario. Hey, if I was going to get in this trade, I don't want to get in it because I was looking at it as it was potentially just retesting really deep in that zone for the long. So I didn't want to set up a short. I was interested in shorts, not long. So I didn't take this trade, but I did set it up where I would have gotten in at, and it would have almost hit our stop, and then when it went straight to our take profit, we would have been out of this trade here. As this closed above this high, I would have closed this here, I think, or maybe even a little. Nah, I would have closed it here. We would have lost about half a unit over risk, maybe a little more. I didn't take it. That's why I didn't like the setup. As you do this more and more, you'll kind of get that intuition, that experience as to like what setups look better than others, where to put more risk down. You know, you'll get better over time, or you should. And this was one I just didn't feel confident in. The setup was there. It gave you an entry criteria. I'm not a big fan of the wishy-washy ones. We are going to get into a couple really nice setups, and those are the ones you want to put your risk on. And you could take something like this and just go half risk, a quarter risk, something like that. If you just want a little skin in the game, it's totally up to you. I just opted not to take this one. So we will get back to our daily time frame here. Nothing here. Like I said, we're going to wait for this to break down. If we can start closing below these lows, retest, then maybe in the next week or two we can start looking to get short on GBP CAD. For the time being, we're going to leave it alone. USD CHF, to be honest, there's really, I would be looking to go, I got my alert set up here in the middle of the zone. I'd be looking for another long. The one thing I don't like about this trade is we are making a lower high here. And at some point the zone, look how many times we've tested it. It is going to, without making new highs and breaking out, is going to fail. So I would still be willing to put full risk or pretty close to full risk on this trade, depending on the way it sets up, right? So this is on watch. I don't believe I have it. Yeah, I don't have this down as like one of my strongest setups. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. We just keep testing and testing and testing and testing, and we're not really going anywhere on the upside. So I would be worried on a consolidation and a break back down. A stronger setup here could be a breakdown of this zone and then a retest of it. So I'm watching it. I'm probably not going to take this if it sets up. But you can see how I have my risk parameters set up here, and if I wanted to get in this trade, this is what it would look like as of right now. Okay, it'll change a little bit as the trade actually sets up. Let's move on. AUD USD. Ain't nothing going on here. CHF JPY. I do believe this is one that, yeah, I do like this one. Yeah, but I guess this isn't one I have necessarily all the way on. I'd say 3-star trade, but this is a decent looking one, right? We had support here, we broke it, and now we're waiting for that retest. Realistically, probably could still be a week or so out. We'd look to get short here, and I have no idea exactly what the trade would look like, but very roughly, maybe something like this, right? So we're waiting on that to shoot back up. This is a nice setup. So this CHF JPY will be on watch this week. Let's see what we got going on. Euro GBP. This one I do believe is one. Euro GBP. I know. Yes. Yes. Uh-oh. Yes, ma'am.
Will you like a hot dog?
Would I like a hot dog?
Huh?
I sure would. Yeah.
And will you like my eye?
Oh, definitely. Yep. Thank you very much. All right. How about that? So, Euro GBP. This is a fantastic setup in my opinion. We have obvious support on the daily. We have an obvious breakdown of it, and we have that obvious retest.
Oh.
This is the bag.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hot dog in a bag. How about that? Oh, woo. That was good. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. That's why we're all trading, right? Most of us, anyway. All right. Yeah. If you can visualize this, we had the breakdown. It's not the greatest color here. Huh? Maybe we can see it a little bit better here. We had the breakdown. We're getting the retest, right? And then what are we going to expect? The breakdown. I think this trade is so nice because we're following that big, look at this. Bam, 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 bam. Like we're following daily market structure. We're following high time frame market structure. We have a break and retest. To me, this is like I would be full risk on this trade if it sets up or when it sets up. This is definitely one that if the alert triggers on it, we will get into it. So 100% we're gonna be all over this setup if it happens this week. Okay, so what do we got next? AUD CAD. I don't know what to say about this thing. I mean, it's a money maker right now. Buy down here, sell up here. This is one of them that we did miss the other day. You guys can see our alert was set right here, and then the high was right here, so we just missed that setup. But I didn't chase it. I didn't, and the reason that you can't is because, for example, if this is going to be our risk setup, and even this is a little, like, I would prefer to get up here a little bit more. But just so you guys can see, say that this was our setup, right, like this, right? And say that we don't get a really good hourly closure until here. Okay, so now this would have been our original take profit. Now look how much further down this has to go for us. I mean, look at that. That's half an hour of, that's where that was just at, is half an hour. So whereas if we would have just waited for price to come up a little bit higher in the zone, we could be getting out of this trade on a full take profit down here. Now look where it has to be because we got into it early. Almost all the way down to this next zone. It is a huge difference. You're talking about holding the trade potentially another week. You're opening yourself up to so many fluctuations in the market. And, like, it's just, to me, like, it's not worth it. Like, we want to get in the middle or upper part of these zones when we're shorting, and we want to get in the lower to mid part of the zones when we're going to go long, and that's going to keep that risk structure in place. It's going to make it so we're not in a trade for 3 weeks at a time, so we're not passing them on to the next generation who's still holding the same, trade that's worth, X amount of money. So it's very important that, like, if what you set up today, we're making our plan for this week, and if our plan doesn't set up, we're not going to chase something, because that's a good way to start losing unnecessary money, to take unnecessary risk. It's a good way to lose your account in the long run, right? So we're going to go about this like mature adults, and you know what, we may have missed this trade last week, but now we've got 3 beautiful trades set up this week. So it's very important to stick to the rules. Like, it's okay if you miss a trade. It's not a big deal. So we missed it. It's not a big deal. We're going to move on. We got some awesome trades coming this week. I don't know, man. I mean, you buy down here and you sell. Like, that's just been AUD CAD's deal lately. And at some point, one of these zones is going to fail. So you just have to be okay with that. Like, it's a moneymaker, and then one of those zones is going to fail. So just be ready for that if you do want to take the long or the short, whatever sets up this week. Eventually, it's going to fail. This has been holding up since, like April, May. So, I mean, geez Louise, you could have almost just straight AUD CAD this entire good chunk of the year and been making some good money. So, if it sets up a short or a long, I'd be willing to take it. Why would you not, right? I would be willing to put half to full risk down on a setup on this, somewhere in between, depending on what it exactly looks like. So right now we're kind of in no man's land, so there's no trade on this, but we'll see which way it decides to break for us. We'll keep an eye on that. It's going to be a little bit like mid-tier on my list this week, because I feel like we do have 2 to 3 really good setups I'd rather get into, but we will keep it on watch. GBP USD, I ain't got nothing. We really are in no man's land out here, so in my opinion. Same thing, Euro AUD. Obviously, we're looking to buy longs down here. Other than that, I really don't have. I mean, we could say maybe a zone setting up here. It tried to break out and retest and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know. I would look for a better setup, in my opinion. Again, like I'd wait to buy down here. So we got plenty of other things to trade. USD CAD. Yes, this was one. So this is the same basic principle. I mean, look how many times this repeats itself. We have resistance up here, right? We had support down here. We broke out, and on this run up, we never retested this again. Okay, we broke through support up here, and then we could not turn this resistance zone, right? We couldn't turn this resistance zone into support. We broke down below it, and what happened? Look at that. The fallback, the retest, and the breakdown. And now where have we gone? We went back to support. We're just retesting this level. I did not see this last week. I seen it just a little bit ago when I was looking at my charts. This trade is currently in play. And what this would have looked like is this. I would drop down, when we get into an area, say our alert was sitting here in the middle of the zone, I would come to the 1 hour, our alert goes off, and now I need to see some level of buyers step in, right? Well, we had a little bit of a tail here. We would have gotten alerted in this candle. We came down, we put a tail, and then we did get a green candle. Technically, this would be enough if you wanted to wait for this next one that kind of started to push up. Like, there isn't huge signs of buyers, but this would keep the risk in check. And so we could have got long here or in this candle, and our stop would have gone below here. Our take profits just a little bit further up above the zone. Following ICT logic, we would like to see this come up into this big fair value gap anyway. There's a little area here we could retest. So I think I like this trade. The thing I don't like about this trade is it had a huge daily red candle into the zone. I mean, just whoosh straight into it. And so that's a little sketchy. I'd kind of like to see it ease up a little bit as we're getting in there. But you'd have to be okay with the risk. If we start breaking, you could do this a couple ways. If we just break below here and you want to close the trade, you close it. If we break below here or we finish a candle below here an hourly or so, you could close the trade. So, like, as long as you're okay with the risk, like, the setups are fine. You could say this is kind of like bear flag a little bit. It's totally, I mean, it's so up to you on how you want to run this system, which is really nice. So, again, like, this is like my third best trade. Like, I'm watching it. You could already be in it. I could get in it when the market opens if it doesn't gap up or down too much, which the market opens up later tonight. It's Sunday right now. I am intrigued by this trade, but I have to be careful. I'm trading live. I really can only put like one good trade on or two smaller trades on at a time, and the other setup I have I like a lot better, and so I don't want to, like, I want to go full risk on that one, and so I might let this trade go. And again, like, these are just things you kind of have to play out in your head and be okay. Like, if my other trade that I like better doesn't work out and this one did, I chose to take the other trade. So, like, you got to be okay with how you decide to manage a lot of this stuff. And so for me, I definitely, as of right now, I like this trade, but I'm going to let it go because I like another setup better. So let us continue on. This is definitely one to check mark and think about. It is, to me, valid right now, and maybe even we can raid the previous day low and you could even get a better risk structure. Because I mean, look at this. If you get in down here, something like that, look how much you don't barely need to bounce in order. I mean, you have to get out of the zone in order to get a full take profit. So that's something we could think about as well. Let's move on. AUDJPY. We need to go back to the daily time frame. This was another one. This was the one last week. I think the second one that I mean, look at this. My alert, it's still there. It was set up right there. We came like within a couple pips of it, and I just missed it, and it literally exploded straight to my take profit. Like, these ones sting a little bit, and I seen it, and I could have got in it, and this is what the trade would have looked like. I wanted to get in lower. And it didn't. I could have literally, I could have upped that risk a little bit up here, and it would have worked out. So this would have been an amazing trade. But again, I didn't get mad. I didn't chase it. It's fine because I know like a million more are going to set up. It's not a big deal. And once you can get to that point, your trading is going to go a lot better for you. Like this way of trading is so stupid, and like it's so simple. It works so good. So many opportunities pop up. It's like you're not even mad when you miss something, because you're like, there's going to be a billion more. It's not that big of a deal. So that was awesome. Obviously, looking at it this week, we really don't have anything. We're kind of getting into no man's land again. So, yeah, we're gonna leave that one be this week. Rest in peace to that trade. That would have been awesome. USD JPY. Nothing going on here. I mean, we're waiting on the retest up here, I suppose. You know, we could have said, hey, maybe there was some, you know, way to get long down here for sure. I mean, that would have worked out if we would have said, hey, we've got some sort of zone here. Then you can see we would have got close to a stop, but that would have worked out for a full take profit. So this was something last week we could have got into. I'm not a big fan of just grabbing one area right here. Like this validates as a valid zone, because now we've had one. You know, we have multiple dates here, but like one group. We did it again here. Okay, now this is an area where buyers have proven to be in the market. So I'm cool with that. I wasn't so cool before, but again, zones develop, zones fail. Like, your charts are going to be evolving to price action, and it's important you keep them up to date and you be ready for the next setup that comes up. So nothing there for us. We're going to continue on. NZD USD, not a whole lot going on. I'd short it up here. Ain't got much else going on. Probably not going to be any setups on that for a little bit. Euro JPY, same thing. I mean, this thing it came into our zone and just absolutely fell out of bed. We would have missed this. I was looking to get in here. It just didn't hit it. Just fell straight out of bed. So, I mean, I'm not touching this thing right now. I don't have anything going on that. So, next up, NZD JPY. Kind of the same deal, right? This is one I don't remember. This might have been one we took, and we ended up hitting that take profit. Again, nothing here. We almost came into this support zone, and now we're kind of rallying back up. So we'll let this thing drift back down here, hopefully, and then we'll be looking to take the long down here. But nothing set up on that right now. Euro USD, I ain't got nothing. I want to say I know another guy who, are they possibly in a short on Euro USD? I feel like it was something like this that they're short on. I have to go back and look, but I don't know why. I don't really see. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, to me, I don't see anything like blatantly clear here. So, anyway, what do we got here? CAD JPY. Oh baby, CAD JPY. This, my friends, this is the trade that I'm looking for. I like this setup a lot, and I'm gonna go full. I'm gonna go full risk on this one. I cannot wait. It's just the same as everything else we've been talking about, right? We had an obvious support zone. We absolutely obliterated it, and now so we had support. So we had the break of the zone, and now we're having the rally back up, the retest of this area. My alert's set in the middle of the zone. This is something very similar to what my trade will look like. And I even like this even better, because like we would expect this to come up and then break this low, right? On this rejection, we would expect this to come down and break this low. We're going to be out of this trade way before we got to get down here. So I like the market structure on this. I like this trade a lot. This is my number one trade going into this week that I will be looking to take. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a very obvious setup. So, risk looks like it can be structured well on it. I like it a lot. So, number one on my list here. And then we had this again. We just missed the alert on this one. Euro CAD. I don't have anything that I'm looking to do particularly on this one. Again, another awesome setup last week. Just missed it a little bit. That's it. So what we've got is CAD JPY we talked about. That was this one. CAD JPY. This is our number one. We're looking at, was it Euro GBP? Yes. Euro GBP is number 2 this week. This is a very nice setup as well. I'd like to get in on this. And then we are looking at USD CAD as the third runner up right here. Now this one's already set up. This is gonna be the thing I'll have to balance. Is this trade technically is already set up? You could be in this one right now. I don't think, since we closed the weekly and everything else like that, I think that we get a raid below these lows before we get a bounce. So this one's already set up. My number one's not set up yet. And my number two's not set up yet. I don't want to put my risk on this trade and be stuck in this trade and not be able to get into my other one. So this is the third one in line. I'm probably gonna just ease back and let this one go and just kind of see where we open up tonight. So we'll see. I'm not planning on just jumping on this one since it's the third one in line. I'm kind of going to want to see these lows get rated first and see how we react to the previous day low. I think that gets taken. I don't think this thing just opens up and then just goes straight back up. It could. I don't see it. So anyway, guys, those are the trades. Again, 3 setups: CAD JPY, Euro GBP, and USD CAD are the 3 that we're looking at this week. We will wipe one of these charts or a couple of these charts off sometime, and we will just go back and I'll show you how I come up with these zones. We can go over the risk and all those things. Again, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you like these videos, if you want to keep learning how to trade, any of that, make sure you subscribe. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you want to know, any questions, anything at all. And yeah, as we get in these trades, we'll make more videos. We'll explain what's happening, how they're going, all that kind of thing. And yeah, well, we're going to catch you guys back next time. So good luck to all of you trading this week. And yeah, we will see you guys on the next one. Good luck out there.